When I was in middle and high school, I received Abstinence-only Until Marriage sex education. The sex ed teacher showed pictures of different STIs and used fear tactics in order to encourage my peers and I to wait until marriage to have sex. Would I want my kids to receive this kind of sex ed? Absolutely not. But do I want them to be abstinent and use abstinence as a form of birth control and STI prevention? Yes, I do. So if you're a parent like me and you want your kids to make healthy decisions regarding their sexual health and choose abstinence as their form of birth control, this video is for you. I'm Kathleen, and I make videos for parents on how to have the modern day sex talks. Start the sex talks early. Start talking often with your kid. I actually hate saying this to parents because y'all are like, yeah, okay, great advice, but how? How do I do that? And that's a valid response, y'all. There are so many well-intentioned reporters, journalists, and organizations that tell this to parents, but then never follow up with the how. How do you do this? Let's start with the very basics. If you are uncomfortable saying the medically accurate terms for the body parts, like you giggle when someone says penis, or you just can't say the word vagina, you gotta start there. Get comfortable to the point where you can say penis, vagina, vulva, scrotum, testicles, breasts, and anus without feeling awkward. You've got to be able to say these body parts just like you would say hand, foot, leg, arm, mouth, and ear. Your comfort will help in normalizing talking about these body parts, and this will start to help your kids feel more comfortable as well. So what does this have to do with abstinence? If you're creating a home environment that encourages honest and open communication around sex and sexuality and reduces the taboo and stigma, this will encourage your kids to come to you with their sex questions as they get into the preteen and teen years. Because telling your teen to be abstinent is going to fall flat if you haven't been having honest sex talks throughout their childhood. When it comes to encouraging abstinence, you will want to have the sex talks in a way that isn't telling your kid to be abstinent, but providing the facts so that they can make that decision. Let's be honest, nobody likes to be told what to do. Not you, not me, not my husband. So telling your teen, trust me, I'm your mom, I'm telling you, you do not need to worry about having sex right now, just don't do it. You will thank me later. That's not gonna work. Instead, try being honest, something like, when it comes to deciding whether or not to engage in sex and sexual activity, you'll want to consider a variety of factors. What precautions are needed in order to prevent STI and STD transmission? What are the different methods for pregnancy prevention, and what are the positive and negatives for each? Besides just the physical consequences of engaging in sex, have you considered the positive as well as negative emotional consequences? How will you ensure effective communication and consent with a partner before and throughout the sexual activity? Are you feeling pressured, or are you pressuring someone to engage in sexual activity? What's your motivation for wanting to have sex? Have you considered sexual abstinence? Why or why not? Is there anything you're unsure about or want to ask me? Because I'm here to make sure that you have accurate information. This approach gives them tangible considerations around a variety of factors that they may not have considered. And it opens up the lines of communication and creates a conversation around sex without judgment or telling them what to do. We've all got values about sex, and when it's acceptable, according to our values, to engage in sex. For some, engaging in sex can only occur in a marriage. For others, it's when it's in a committed relationship. And for others, it's just more casual. Whatever your personal, religious, or cultural values and beliefs are around sex, define it and then convey those values to your kid. But as always, don't lead with your values. So after you answered their sex question or explain sex in a medically accurate way, you'll want to then share your values around it. For example, if you finish talking about how to ensure consent before and throughout sexual activity, you can then share your value by saying, consent to sexual activity is always necessary. In our family, we believe that abstaining from sex until marriage can make it easier to discuss consent with your partner because now you're both committed to ensuring what's best for each other in the marriage. Letting your kids know why abstinence is a value in your home and per your beliefs is yours to share with your kid as their parent. But please do not just tell them to be abstinent and then never discuss any other sexual health topics. They are curious and they have questions and they are looking to you for answers. Research has shown that teaching kids abstinence-only sex ed doesn't actually reduce teen pregnancy and STI rates. In the US, states with the most teen pregnancies and highest STI rates teach either abstinence-only sex ed or no medically accurate sex ed at all. Comprehensive sex ed, which includes education about abstinence as well as other forms of birth control, including condoms, has been shown to delay initiation of sex and reduce the frequency of unprotected sex. Let this research reassure you that you are not sending a mixed message. Having age-appropriate sex talks throughout childhood and talking about sex without stigma or judgment can actually encourage your child to choose abstinence and be abstinent for a longer period of time when compared to a kid who receives abstinence-only messaging. Parents, I'm here to encourage you, prepare you, and inspire you to go forth and have the sex talks. If you're feeling confident now, click on this video for the 4 must-have sex talks throughout childhood. And as always, I'm Kathleen, and I'll be back next week with another video.